So let's Okay, so welcome everyone, and so thank you for being here during your morning, evenings, afternoons, and sharing this space with us, and of course with the special guest that we have today, who is Diana. First of all, I want to highlight the topic that we are going to be sharing today: new challenge, new HR challenge in the business environment. All right, so after introducing Diana, I would like as well saying a special thank you to all the team, Paloma, Fer, and all the rest who are here as well with us, and who has been preparing so hard this webinar. Okay, so a new challenge in the business scenarios such as remote work, online onboardings, remote team management, corporate culture, etc., etc. Welcome to this webinar organized by Mylenio. Today, we will talk about new challenge in the business scenario, especially in HR departments, about telecommunication and online recruitment and onboarding. I want to introduce briefly myself. I'm Ines Guerra, growth manager at Mylenio, and right now presenting this amazing webinar that we are going to be sharing, as well with Diana, our special guest. Diana is recruitment and selection analyst specialized in IT sector. I don't know, Diana, if you want to share some words with us.
Hi, Ines. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I don't know what you want me to say. Do you want me to be talking about myself?
No, well, whatever you want. Is like your position right now, which is?
I'm a recruiter in Mylenio. I'm a recruiter. Sorry. I work in the human resources department. We do a lot of things, but I specialize in the recruitment and selection process. That's what I do.
So thank you very much, Diana. And I think all your wide experience in the sector and specifically in these two tasks are going to be super interesting and are the topics that we are going to be sharing today along the webinar.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, I'm sure. So Diana, she will tell us about, sorry, everyone, if you can silence yourself, 1 second.
Oh, Ines, I thought that was you.
No, it's not me. It's anyone else. No, not me in this case. I'm in a co-working space, but I think at that time wasn't me. Okay, so Diana, she will tell us about the challenging of a company that works remotely, the way that it's managed now, the recruitment and selection process, and how this is developed out. The categorization of files and how to achieve business culture, because the teams needs to be motivated and create link and team building throughout the screen, which is, I think, an actual challenge nowadays. Okay, so Diana, I'm going to be asking you some questions related with this, that you can share all your experience, knowledge, and basically this is going to be a kind of more about how you have been feeling and which are all the pains and as well glories that you celebrate on the HR departments, apart from all the daily obstacles. So what is like to work in the HR department of an IT company? How does it work? Maybe about your daily life.
That's a great question. Well, it's a challenge, for instance. I think it's like the kitchen of a house, if you may, or of a restaurant, perhaps, because it's like everything happens so fast, so quickly. I think if you are watching from the outside of that kitchen, you may think that it's a mess. I don't know.
I can imagine perfectly, because actually I love cooking, so I can imagine.
Oh, okay. Well, You may think that everything is a mess, but actually it never is. Everyone always know what they're doing, what we are doing. Specifically in recruiting, everything works really fast. You know, the positions that we require change a lot. So we need to really move. So it really works for me because I kind of like have my fingers in a lot of pies. So multitask is like a must here, but you really have to be responsible. So yeah, it's a challenge. It's a great job. I love it, but you have to be responsible. You're working with a lot of sensitive information, 100% confidential as well, and that's, you know, that works for every aspect of your life. So perhaps you could have some friends. I have some friends within the company, and you would like to go for a beer afterwards. That's cool, but you have to be responsible even there. It's a way of life. That's the way I perceive it.
Yeah, and I think as well, the point is that behind it, this teams, I mean the team behind HR departments are people. What I mean with this is like, yeah, maybe you have confidential information, you have to be super responsible, you have to be super straight at some point, but the other part is that you have to keep the balance with it, with that humanity, taking care of the people, knowing that at some point the rules could be super straight, but the people could be at some point having problems, having personal situation behind all of this, and this should be tough as well to maintain that balance, to keep that balance.
I tried to learn that. I don't still know how to do that. It's really hard. And like you just said, we work on
and
salaries.
Every day is a challenge.
Oh my God, it is for every single one of us. And the kind of information that we manage, it's I don't know, work on salaries and working environment. Oh my God, that's hard. I don't know, benefits, professional growing. It's like you just said that coaching too. We do coaching.
Yeah.
We can talk whenever you like.
Yeah, it would be great. It would be great. I will count with that. Okay, so Diana, in your case, the company you work offers remote work. Actually, could be a 100% option. Does it complicate the work in terms of human resources?
Well, you know, did you remember this these movies when you see these ladies like running around with some papers and like 80s movies with the cubicles and the people working there?
Yeah.
I cannot wrap my mind around that because I knew about this job, the recruiting job, as already remote, like in 2020. So I don't understand that. I don't understand how you can go to an office and do this job not remotely. It's kind of weird. If you're not doing remote work in 2022, you should review what you're doing, the benefits of it. I mean, we're still on a pandemic, you know.
Environment, yeah.
So it worked in 2020. Why aren't you not doing remote job? I don't know. Yeah, and about the problems, well, I always work in the customer service area, always in different things, and that was always in person. So when I started this job, the first thing that I've noticed was that it's so much faster because you're there all the time. They can reach you out every single time. So you need to be everywhere. Yeah, they can call you. You have to have some meetings with the boys or girls in this case. So we manage a lot of our processes remotely. with different locations and cultures. That was new for me, and kind of.
I can imagine that. Sorry, yeah, but right now with all the remote work, actually is a benefit not only for employees but as well for management teams as yours, as you are in HR department, because it's like right now if you have a presence in an office, it's like you have to be double, because you have to be as well in a remote presence with all the calls, everything that
Time zones, yeah.
from time zones, from out the country, from foreign people or whatever, and as well being in the office with all the office problems and all that carries on. No.
Yeah, of course. I'm having some internet problems. I'm sorry. Yeah, of course. That's the biggest thing. And well, also the communication. You need to be really clear, because otherwise, you know, simple things can complicate really fast in this line of work. Yeah, because everything you said counts.
Yeah, and I think right now with the remote work, as everything, you have more writing communication base, as everything is written.
Yeah.
You can justify much more all the decisions taken and all this. Okay, Diana. So what does it mean to you work in the HR department, like as a human being, as a person? What does it mean for you and your experience? Do you enjoy it?
I do a lot. My favorite, because it's kind of an emotional question. Because I had a profession. So I was a contemporary dancer and a teacher. And for me, that was my passion for a long time. I did that, I think, for 20 years, a little bit more. So
congratulations.
Thank you. I love doing that. But I have some injuries, so I couldn't do that anymore. And I thought for a long time that my passion was dead. But I don't want this to sound gloomy. Sorry. It has a happy ending. Don't worry. So,
no, and it's the point that we're persons and we're talking about HR in tech, but it's still we're people. So this is the most important. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. You're right. So I thought that for me that was it. I mean, like, I thought that was life, like going without a passion. And one day I found myself working here in Lenio, and I found it again. So for me, working in the human resources department was a lifesaver.
Let's say, so it renews your passion.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, I never knew about this job until 2020. So it was quite a surprise. It's a big, huge responsibility, but I love it.
That's good. That's good, Diana. And let's go a little bit deep in your daily tasks. So in the HR team, time is a very valuable asset, because you have to dedicate this time to all the people who are part of the company. How do you make sure that this time is distributed in all the tasks, problems that may arrive at last minute, etc., all the daily obstacles that could happen?
Well, it's not me. You have to be really organized. We do objectives. We work with so much information, and I'm not alone, so we have to put all that information somewhere, you know. So we have some calls to organize ourselves. We use a lot of Slack channels, so we don't have to talk about what we are doing every single time. The information is there. You can just go find it there. But we really have to really think about our processes about that. So having a tool like the one we use, who put that all together, It's amazing. Yeah, it makes things so much easier. So we can share information with each other with the technical part. So we use a tool, we use Slack, we use daily status and weekly calls, that kind of things.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. It makes much sense, actually. So does the use of that tool, a tool of user provisioning, make your job easier? And what are the benefits that it have to complete the onboarding experience for the new employees?
Well, yes, of course, it makes it easier. Of course, yes. But I think remember my own onboarding, it makes the user experience calmer. I wanted to share something with you about this. I'm not going to say his name, but doing an onboarding once, I received an email and he told us that when he was doing the onboarding on Mylenio, the tool that we use, he felt that he was in the right place.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
that's, yeah, I know. I think that's all what is to say. I mean, yeah, we can talk about how makes our job easier because we have all there. We can share information with each other, and the boys and girls that are making the onboarding have everything there. They can sign their documents, they can read them out, the contracts. I don't know, you can manage a lot of information. You can, I don't know, request your vacation, special request reimbursements, a lot of things. But for them, that make them feel like they're, I don't know, that
they are like already part of the company when they even are outside the company, because they are just on the onboarding process. So
yeah,
at some point they are still part of, not in the company, but at the point that they get into Mylenio, they start that feeling, no?
Yeah, they can know so much about us watching the tool. Yeah,
that's good. That's good. That's like there's only one chance to make first impression, and yeah, I think this is something important. The tools that you use to make that impression and to create that engagement. All right, Diana. So nowadays we spend a lot of time working. Companies work hard to create company culture, a space of leisure, good communication. How do you manage to organize the work of the team and create those spaces for team building in a remote environment?
Okay.
Because I think this is actual challenge, because you were talking before about having a beer with your colleagues or whatever, but it has been quite tough during the latest years, and still more and more because we're more get used to in the remote culture. So it's not that much about the pandemic environment. Still there's a pandemic environment, but apart from that, is that more about the remote environment that could be complicated to do team building.
Yeah, I know. You're right. Well, if it really is a main thing here, Lenny loves, taking care of our culture. We think culture is everyone. So we are building our own spaces. Of course, HR is there watching for all of us, even me. But for example, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to Mylenio, but we have a little space there when you can give recognition for anything you feel like it, to anyone, even a team, a whole team. And everyone can see that. And I never had one. I never had a recognition, but every time I see one, I'm so happy for them. I can empathize, like,
Yeah,
the feeling like, oh my gosh, everyone can know that you're doing things right and you're seeing, and I don't know, I love sharing that with
yeah,
them.
that they made it.
Yeah, somehow about, I don't know, could be anything, could be some, I don't, maybe teamwork, someone felt comfortable working with you, or you achieve something with a client, something like that. So it's really nice, even though I don't have one, but but I really think it's a great thing. um you know Later on Slack, we have our teams. Every people who knows Lenio knows that we have a really active Slack with
Super.
with channels for everything you can think of, and if it's not there, you can create it. So you have people talking about, I don't know, cars, your pets, I don't know, plants, anything you can think of, and of course some spaces for professional growing, like technology channels and stuff. So culture, it's our main thing because of it, because everyone is it's doing it every day, like how do you say collaboration, like
Yeah, like cooperation at that point, and uh, maintaining that engagement inside the team. No.
oh yeah, and exactly, thank you, and every day. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's how
Yeah.
we do it.
And I have an extra question about this, and is Diana, how do you? Maybe the answer is just no, and you don't have any problems, and all good. But how do you do to keep the respect in the channels? Because if you open many leisure channels, such as you have said, pets or cards or plants or whatever, maybe at some point someone could be disrespectful or not that nice with the colleagues or something like that. So is that a problem? Because maybe we have here people from other companies trying to maintain that engagement, and maybe they have that fear.
Oh, that's a great question. And if that happens, because we are people, it doesn't matter, because it's self-regulated.
Okay.
You
Okay.
you got you're not alone. You can be rude. Yes, it may happen, of course, but there's a lot of people there with you. So
Yeah. Yeah, and
oh,
actually, this is good because that's mean that the recruitment process have something in common, that everyone is self-regulated, and this is
yes,
a super valuable skill, I think, especially in remote and tech environments. So that congrats for that, for recruit all
thank
these
you.
people.
Yeah, we're building the family, not
Okay.
just a company. Yep.
Oh my God, such a nice quote. Okay, so now I'm going to be sharing some screen with you with the tool that Diana just mentioned a couple of times, and it's the tool that we're building up and selling to the market, and having many great news and succeed with it, because actually, as Diana just said, is super helpful. So let's go with Mylenio. Okay, so do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here we have all these are, let's say, just mockups. Okay, this is not an actual company, a sales company, but are companies created for demos. But still, you can see everything that we have about Mylenio, how we create the teams. Okay, here in the team side, we select our start industry, and here we have all the members of the team could add in more roles, such as maybe partners which are not here, and two partners we can add people. And here Carla Moreno is going to be partner. Okay, about that, we have all the resources that we use, that, for example, Diana have mentioned a lot of Slack channels, so we can add here the app of Slack. Okay, first of all, And then in the app of Slack, you can select all the channels, all the resources in the app, and all the roles that we want to access to a specific resource in the app, which is maybe Diana as an HR, or maybe the partner that we just have added should has access to this channel as well. Okay, after that we have the logs with all these important and sensitive information that Diana just have mentioned, that you in HR manage and let's say work with a lot of sensitive information. So we have here all the logs, because it's not only about Slack channel, it's as well about repositories in GitLab, or maybe folders in Google Drive as well, which here are not connected, but still you can have all the access to all these SaaS. After that as well, on the human resources part, we have here documents. Diana could be adding us a new document, such as the new contract, the new NDA that I have to be signing. And we are going to have in the whole menu all the documents to be signed. This is a little example of how I think Diana could work with Mylenio and could be her daily life with the tool. I don't know if I was right, Diana.
Yes, it's and I know I'm pretty good with technology. It's not a hard thing for me, but I never worked with a tool before like this. So I wanted to say it's really easy to use because I learned it really, really fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, being a dancer, you didn't have previous experience with HR software tools. So I'm happy for that as well, because it's not only that employee that say that with Mylenio, he felt that he was in the right place, but it's also about all the admin people like you that manage everyday Mylenio and makes their life easier and faster, which is super important.
Oh, thank you, by
Thank
the
you.
way.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you. All right, so this brings us to the end of this webinar. Thank you very much, Diana, for being with us today. And I'm going to share with you some of our minutes, Diana, if you're okay. If anyone have any question or whatever, we can maybe stop recording for the questions.